Ooh, there we go.
All right, that's better than what we've been doing right there. It's the Sports Den, special edition of the Sports Den with Mayor Lenny Curry today on a Thursday. We want to talk. We just thought it would be cool to with the Packers Saints game here in Jacksonville on opening weekend. The Jags are away in Houston. We thought it would be cool, Mayor. To first off, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you look good, man.
Thanks.
I need a job where I got to wear like button-up shirts and jackets.
See, this is how you know he's doing good. When you get that, when you let that second button go,
he's got the Donovan
that's
Darius.
when you know. That's when you know you're in that second term, and there's not much they can do. You don't have to wear the tie.
When I walk into the office like this, they all tell me I should button it up. When I leave in the morning, my wife says, "Who do you think you are? Button that button."
Oh man,
see, that's confidence though. He's been hitting the weights a little bit. That's confidence coming through. I like that in a mayor, man. But we thought it would be really cool just to kind of talk about the behind the scenes. This is a big deal. I mean, this is obviously I'm a Saints fan, as you know, Mayor Curry, and my family's from Louisiana, and it's a struggle down there. It's not, it's not on the Katrina level, which kind of set the precedent for South Louisiana, but it's an issue down there. And so them having to move a game, I think everybody just kind of assumed it would be Dallas or San Antonio or something like that. Mm-hmm. So can we just kind of talk about like where this started from? How did this start? Ultimately, how did it end up here? And then we'll get into kind of the planning and all that kind of stuff that went around it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say first, anytime a hurricane or a major storm hits the area, if you've been through it, we've been through it in Jacksonville twice, significant storms in the last, I think, 5 years, and with varying, obviously, degrees of damage and pain for people. But anytime there's people without electricity, without water, struggling for food, losing all their belongings, I mean, just the physical and the mental anguish, just it's real. And so, and to that end, sports, specifically in my mind, the NFL, football itself is an escape. And so they were looking for a place to play. So the background is the stadium in Jacksonville, the bank is owned by the city of Jacksonville, and we're in a long-term lease with the Jaguars. And so in order to allow another football game to be played here, the negotiation would happen between the city, the home team, which will be the Saints, and obviously the Jaguars, because that's their home every day of the week and on Sundays. But it was a no-brainer. The answer is yes. We want you here, and let's figure out how to make this work. And then you got to get into all the nitty-gritty, which is ticket sales and seat availability, and all the stuff that goes into putting on an event.
So was the initial call made by them? Is that how it worked, or was it kind of pitched by Jacksonville?
I don't know. So it first came to us through the team. The Jaguars reached out to me and said that this is a possibility, and we need to plug your team in now to figure out if we can make this work. Mark Lamping reached out to me, and so that's where it started from my perspective.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, opening week of the NFL is, easily one of the biggest days in sports. Obviously, tonight you have the Tampa-Dallas game, also here in Florida. And the Jags being away on opening week is, it kind of stinks because, I mean, opening week is opening week.
Right.
To pull this off and then to have on top of that, let's look at everything, a 425 kick here in Jacksonville with two teams that travel really well. Let's take the natural disaster out of it for a second, which I know is hard to do. From a city perspective, I mean, that's a huge get, right?
It's for many reasons. First of all, the estimate is a $30 million impact to the city, economic impact, that includes all the hotels, restaurants, etc. We also, in the negotiation, we're going to get some of the revenues for parking and concession. So that's a plus for the city. The Saints are picking up all the game day security and the stuff that would go around putting on an event. So, I mean, their organization has also really stepped up. But then a 4:25 kickoff, opening day, national television, national audience, and then the two teams that are playing, right?
Right.
It's a huge deal from a sports perspective and for our city. And it gives us another opportunity to demonstrate the types of events we can host right here in Jacksonville and do it in a world-class way.
Also, the cool part of it is that we've seen so many people kind of, I know you live, sorry, bitch about losing the game to London, losing this. This gives us the opportunity to pick up that game and still get paid. Well, the Jags still get paid for that, but the city is able to recoup some of that revenue and
local revenue.
Revenue. That's what it's all about. So the biggest thing I think most people need to realize is that obviously Jacksonville Jaguar fans, the city of Jacksonville, we will attend that a lot more than people from out of town. They're literally almost everybody who's coming to this game is coming from a different place. So were there any reservations or any hesitation that other people had, or any kind of negative publicity that we had that we got for this? I think kind of saw the Twitter back and forth with the one guy, kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I think there was a columnist that wrote a column, and that's what some columnists do. I mean, it's part of the game. And they happened to read the column, and the opening paragraph was very negative about our city. By the way, the old me, as recently as a year and a half ago, would have responded to that individual just as nasty as he talked about us. But I'm trying to be diplomatic and take the high road these days. So I replied with diplomacy.
We kind of like the OG Lenny though, man. Like,
but Twitter Jaguar came in and they jumped all over and they did their work.
Yeah, they did. They did. Twitter Jaguar, Twitter is. I mean, obviously we live in Jacksonville, so we don't see the other 31 teams, but it's got to be one of the best like Twitter followings in the league. They're aggressive, man. It really almost takes on the life of the city. It's fun to follow.
When you mail trash cans to players, shout out to Bonnie Upright for that. They're great. They're great, but they're also great because we cover the Jags. I don't want to be on the wrong side of those guys.
No. Go ahead.
These fans are going to come here from other parts of the country, and they're going to experience our restaurants, our hotels. They're going to experience our beaches. They're going to see our beautiful river, and people will discover our city. And I think that's really cool because people that discover our city fall in love with it.
You mentioned the opportunity to kind of flex and show the ability to host big events. I was in Charlotte this past weekend for who played Clemson, Georgia. Big event, right? Opening game. It's not a playoff event, but big event. I'm sitting there in Charlotte. Charlotte's a beautiful city, but I mean, outside of hotel rooms, what does Charlotte have that Jacksonville doesn't have? How far are we from being able to really put ourselves out on a national scale like that and get those type of events?
It's really just now about hotels and building stuff downtown that are going to attract people. Because you're right. I mean, we've got all the natural resources, the river, the beaches. I'll give you an example. During COVID, when All Elite Wrestling was filming at Daly's Place, when they couldn't have live crowds, their team members, the folks that fight, the folks that produce the show, were in Jacksonville for months, maybe over a year. And many of those people have bought places here, and they talk about how they love it here. They love being at the beach. They love what they see, the potential that could happen downtown. So that's the next step. You know, the Shipyards project, which is the Four Seasons vision that Shad has, will be, I believe, will be introduced to City Council next week. So we'll be talking about that in the weeks ahead. And after having seen the Performance Center, let's go back to Lot J. After Lot J failed, with 12 votes, still a majority, it failed. The Performance Center passed, and we're all feeling really good about the Shipyards Four Seasons vision.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't just at least have a good laugh here. At what point is the LERP statue going up?
Let me choose my words carefully. I don't know if it ever will. That was a concept that was picked in a competition by the Downtown Investment Authority.
Okay.
By the way, my office didn't pick that. I didn't pick that design. It still has to go through votes, approval, funding, none of which is about to happen at this point.
So how much does social media play into that though? Like when you put something like that out and it runs like it did, does that have any effect or any bearing? It's got to have something, right? Because the residents, react to it.
I wouldn't say that. No, not on me. I mean, look, I expect when I do things that Twitter may love it, Twitter may hate it. It just is what it is. I don't know if you guys saw I did the billboards this summer.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah, and we talked about it in a strategy meeting that we could potentially get our ass kicked on Twitter over this.
Yeah.
And I said, well, so what? It's Twitter. Let's do it. I'm not.
I like that.
These people that get caught up in ratios and likes or not likes. It's not like you're feeling any physical pain. It's not like you're out sweating and working. Okay, somebody said something mean. We can handle that.
I was going to ask you, have we done that in New Orleans and in Green Bay? I've lived in New Orleans. I've never been in Green Bay before, but the billboard for that could be real simple. It's warm. You're cold. You're cold. It's hot here. Why would you stay there? But are we trying to attract any of these people to kind of get them, kind of push them toward when they come down here, they don't leave?
Need to add maybe Green Bay. We did Chicago, LA, DC, and I don't know if we did Atlanta or not, but we had some fun with it.
So I don't know what Green Bay has over us besides cheese. But like I don't really think that. I think we have better beaches. I'm gonna go.
You go out on a limb on that.
On a limb on that.
Well, I mean, speaking of our beach right now, is why it's so important that we get downtown where it needs to be. We've made progress downtown. The criticism, we've knocked down a lot of old buildings. That's just to prepare for development. But the beach scene is hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
The downtown scene needs to be hot. The surrounding areas around downtown is a hot scene as well in San Marco, Brooklyn, Riverside, Avondale. And so the market can handle it. We just need to get it done.
I will say a lot of the critique comes from when we hosted the Super Bowl. And
that was a long time ago.
I know, but I was going to give my personal story. It was warranted. I'm going to go with that because I remember I came to the Gator Bowl and played in the FSU, played West Virginia that year in the Gator Bowl. And I said at that point, oh my God, I will never live in this city. And then you fast forward 2 years later, I've been here since 2007. So I've been here for a while and it's grown. I've seen the growth. I've seen how downtown, it could use a little sprucing, but as you said, the beaches, there's a lot of other different things. Brooklyn, San Marco. I've gone to some of these things over the summer since we've been able to go outside again. And I've seen some of these things actually. I was like, oh, okay, this is a cool little area that I didn't know anything about. So I think I say all that to say is I think there'll be some people from New Orleans or from out of town that are going to be able to see this and be like, you know what? This might not be the fifth quarter, but I mean, the French quarter, excuse me. Fifth quarter is my business. French quarter. But at the same time, I can see how this can grow into something.
That's actually a great question, though. Are we allowing bead exchanges in downtown Jacksonville this week?
What's that?
Have you've been to the French Quarter, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
I mean, the culture. I mean,
you've. Right. I'm going to say this to you, Lenny, because we're on radio. You've made me have to learn how to prepare for things on the fly. When we had the hurricane here, and I asked you, "Hey, are we going to have the game here, the Boise game here?" And you told me at like 6 p.m. Yeah, we're going to have it. Then I found out when we were on radio that it's in Tallahassee, so I had to move a whole tailgate. I could plan.
We can get some beads.
We can get some beads.
We can get a Mardi Gras going.
We can get a little mini Mardi Gras by the stadium if we're allowed.
Why not?
So what he's saying is, don't go down there and just say, "Hey, Mayor Curry said I could." Yeah, it's not going to get you.
He's like, if you throw beads at people and you don't have clearance, you didn't get clearance from me.
Right. Look, we want people to have a good time, and I think the reputation for Jacksonville has definitely changed a lot, even in the last 10 years in terms of We're still a Southern town to the extent that we're kind and charitable, we're nice. But I think the reputation of us being uptight, not knowing not wanting people to have a good time, I think that those days are gone.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you when you guys are planning for all this game included. I know there's a bigger plan and there's like a vision, and I don't mean vision as in buildings, all that kind of stuff. Just a vision of what Jacksonville should be to capitalize on its location, its history, its resources, all that kind of stuff. Can you let us in on that? Can you let us in on like how do those conversations go on how all the different pieces of the puzzle fit?
Well, I think I'll use one example. Here's the question I've been asking for years, and COVID kind of slowed this down. So what are some things that we have? One of those is Florida, Georgia, Florida, depending on the year, on who's home.
It's Florida, Georgia. Go ahead.
So that is obviously a historic event. It's been here since the 1930s. It's just a good time. It is a part of the fabric of our community. Right before COVID hit, I started asking, how can we program this out during the week so it's more than just tailgating and just football? The year before COVID, we did a free concert at the baseball stadium. I didn't get to attend because I was in London that year. But I'm told it was well attended. It was a great time. We had it planned on expanding even more, programming more events around the week. And so that's a focus we're going to try to do, is have more activities that start earlier in the week and leverage that football game. I mean, think about Mardi Gras. Think about Gasparilla in Tampa. We have that football game, and we can program more things around that and make it attract everybody.
Beautiful time of the year here too, weather-wise.
Gorgeous time of the year.
Yeah. I mean, so that's
one example.
Yeah, that type of stuff is entertainment is important, is what I'm getting to.
So we're gonna have a free concert again this year on Thursday night, at the baseball park, I believe, or the arena. I don't remember which. And then there will be also a Dailies concert that Friday night. And we're also thinking about adding something on potentially that starts on Wednesday. We don't have much time because it's upon us. Mm-hmm. But I think we're going to add something else programmed on Wednesday.
Awesome. Anything that you feel like the people should know about this game on Sunday? Like how are ticket sales?
How do we get tickets?
Yeah. How is all that gone as to the way you guys projected?
Yeah, you can buy tickets. I haven't looked at the ticket sales in the last couple of days. I think there still are available. So I'd encourage people, if get out and watch the game. Well, first of all, watch the Jaguars and Texans at 1:00. Hey, I think if I'm right, if my memory serves me right, I haven't looked this up. I think the last time we opened away in Houston, it was the year Jacksonville was born.
That's right.
In Houston.
That's right.
After there had been a hurricane and just all kind of pain and suffering in Houston that year. And so we opened there. I'm bullish. I'm not going to get too far ahead of what the record's going to be, but I'm feeling pretty good about things.
I agree. I mean, in a perfect world, what happens is the Jags blow the Texans out. And so third quarter, you're able to head down to TIA and catch the Saints-Packers game. If nothing else, even if you're not a fan, just the opportunity. Cities would give so much if they didn't have an NFL team to be able to host an event like this. Just the opportunity. I mean, think about what London gives to host. Just the opportunity to host two of the premier teams in the NFL is, I think we're almost, we're taking it for granted.
It's another opportunity for the nation to see the city, and people are going to be tuned in because obviously it's only two 4:00 games typically, but bigger than that, the storylines. Aaron Rodgers was being a diva and all the things that Aaron Rodgers does all off season. Jameis Winston, could this be a redemption story? Do we see him come back to the state of Florida and kind of start his story all over again?
Stocking up on crab legs here in Jacksonville.
We have great seafood here. This is like I forgot to ask this. I had his trainer on yesterday on one of our shows, and I didn't ask him about crab legs, but it's so many different things and so many storylines again that they're going to be talking. And every time they say something about it, they have to mention that the game is in Jacksonville, Florida. So that's giving people.
So well done. That's what we're saying.
Very good marketing.
Yeah,
very
it's a big
strategic.
deal, and I'm glad we pulled it off, and it's going to be exciting for our city. I do have a question for you guys, maybe for the quarterback whisperer there.
Jeez.
So I've got on my fantasy team, I've got Herbert, I've got Cousins, and then I picked up Winston off of the waiver wire a few days ago. And you never know. I don't know. He's playing in our city. Would I be crazy if I started him?
I would definitely start him over Cousins.
Yeah. Do you have a 2-quarterback league or just one?
Just one.
So it's Herbert or Winston.
Who's San Diego?
They play. It's L.A. It's not San Diego. It hasn't been for like 5 years.
My bad, whatever.
But they play Washington, the Washington football team. That's a tough one
because neither one of their defense isn't the greatest, but neither is Green Bay.
You know what? I take all this as a sign. You're personally invested in this. Get a little more personally invested in this, and let's roll Jameis out. Let's roll him out.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to see if he's available in any of my leagues. I may go with you there.
You know what? He's going to get the yards. He's going to get the touchdowns.
You may throw 31 picks.
The problem is he's going to get the picks. Will he throw it? Will he just throw it to his team? That's the only issue. So
no, we can't tell you how much we appreciate this. If it was up to us, we would have like a weekly segment with you. Like we always enjoy talking to you, man.
We can always add it. I enjoy it too.
You know, it's a blast, and congrats on this job. Well done. Enjoy opening weekend, and we got to put this in there for Mayor Curry. Go Gators.
Go Gators, and stay tuned for the Florida-Georgia game.
There you go. We appreciate it, Mayor, and anything you need, let us know, and we're big fans.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. That is Mayor Lenny Curry on the special edition of the Jags. We're going to do more of these as we go along, so you see the setup. It makes it easy to do. You guys have a wonderful Thursday, opening night of football. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. Let me stop it. Oh.